here. So this is how you use it. So first of all, you're going to take the section that you want to work with. Remember, I already straightened this part yesterday, as you can see. So you're going to take a section that you want to work with, and then you just spray it. But I don't like doing mine that way. I like to spray it on all areas before I start straightening, right? So you take a section, you spray it, you know, yeah, and then you apply your hair serum. But I already applied my hair serum here, so there will be no need for that. So I'm just going to, take the hair, and then I'll start straightening, right? My straightener is very, very hot. I make sure my straightener is on 220 degrees, as you can see, 220 degrees, because I'm working with a human hair. Okay, so but if you're not working with a human hair, it's advisable that your straightener is on the lowest of heat, so you don't burn the hair. Okay, so now you're basically going to go in like this, right? And then you're going to straighten gently. Can you see that steam coming out? It has to be as hot as that if you're working on a human hair. And mind you, we've already made use of our heat protectant, so there will be no need, being too careful with straightening your hair or applying your heat, right? So basically, just like that, you take a section just like this, and then you use this pin. I like to make use of this pin because it's very durable. As you can see, it's metal. So you're just going to go in with your straightener just like this, and then you pull down gently. Make sure to pull down gently, gently. Okay, you pull down gently. Okay, your heat protectant is already on the hair, so there's no need of you being scared of breakage. Okay, so you just basically comb out, and then you take the next section that you want to work with, just like that. You're going to repeat this process until you've successfully, finished styling this hair. Remember, we want a lush hair, like very, very smooth, and look at that steam, very hot. Your straightener should be as hot as this, guys. You pull down. Some people like to go in once, twice, but I like to go in as many times as possible so that I'll get my desired result. So once you know that you've gotten your satisfaction, you're just going to continue like this. Look at that. Okay, so look at, you can clearly see the difference. This is the area that has not been touched, and this is the part that we're working on right now. Look at that lush. Okay, this is what we want to achieve at the end of the day. Now you're going to take a section, and then you're going to comb. Remember, comb. Make sure to always comb each time you're working on your hair, so it's easy for your hand or hair to go through it. Now you comb, right? We already applied our hair serum, remember, and then you go in with your straightener. You pull down just a bit. You see that steam coming out? Yes, just like that. You pull down just a bit. Pull. Be very careful, okay, and gentle. So you pull down just like that. You pull down, okay, and then you're going to repeat the same process. You comb out, and then this part has not been touched. We can clearly see the difference. Now look at, if you follow this tutorial carefully, this is what you should achieve at the end of the day. So you go in again using this, right? You're going to comb. Already applied our heat protectant. Mind you, whenever it is you're working with heat, make sure to use your heat protectant. This is the product that I use, and it's very, very durable and affordable. So you go in with your straightener just like that, gently. You can see the steam coming out, right? Your straightener should be very hot. If you're working on a human hair, please do not use high level heat on a synthetic hair. You're going to ruin your wig. Okay, so just like that, successfully straighten this part of the hair, just like that. Okay, look at that. This is what you want to have by the end of the day. So we're going to go in and then take another section and then work with. So this is the section. Mind you, this is two different type of hairs, so the level of heat might differ. Okay, so on the back I used a very low quality human hair, because that is the hair my client um brought. So, and on the front I also use like a Chinese bone straight. Okay, so you're clearly going to see the difference by the time I am done straightening the hair. So just like that, you're going to take a section that you're going to work with. Mind you, I'm also going to be curling a hair on this stream, and I'll show you how to coil your hair on this live stream using just your coiling iron. Okay, you're going to be using just your coiling iron for that process. So just like that, you take a section that you want to work with, and after taking the section, you're going to apply your heat protectant. Do not forget, always apply your heat protectant. It's either you apply your heat protectant before styling or during the styling process. Okay, so during your straightening process, basically. So just like that. Now I've already taken out the section that I want to work with, so I'm going to do this. Fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it. Don't be scared, it's not going to, you know. So I pin it, right? And then I'm going to take my heat protectant, of course, and then I'll spray, 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 spray generously. Over here we don't mice products, so you spray, 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 right? Spray. And then you're going to go in with your hair serum now. Now this is the hair serum that I use. It's called the Ludia. Is it Laudias? I don't know how to pronounce that, but this is the name. Then you take about 2 puff of it, and then you rub it in between your palms, and then you take the part where you're just divide it into two, okay? And then you apply the products. You apply the hair serum, and then you take another 2 puff, right? And then you apply it on the other part, other section rather, just like that. Okay, you apply it. Over here we don't mice products, so it's advisable you buy your products when you're going to style your hair, either if your hairstylist is the one styling it for you or you're styling it yourself. So now after that, you're going to take your hair tail comb, and you're going to take a section that you want to work with. Make sure not to take too much, okay? Just a little, right? Just like this, okay? And then you're going to take out the section that you're not working with. Take it out. Please guys, if this is your first time, do well to subscribe, like, turn on your post notification. Thank you. Please like the stream. So now you're going to take your tail comb, and you're going to comb gently, okay? You're going to comb gently all the way down, all the way, all the way down, okay? Gently all the way down, okay? All the way. Now you're going to go in with your straightener at this point, just like that. You pull, pull, pull. Now if you notice something, the hair is okay, we'll have to reduce it to the lowest. So this, like I said, I used 2 qualities of hairs, right? You can see how it's shredding out because the heat is too much. This is the reason why I said when you're working on a synthetic hair or a hair that is not a 100% human hair, it's advisable that you use low level heat. So I've reduced my heat, and let's see what happens. And then you're going to pull it through very fast, like very, very fast, very, very fast, okay? Put it through very, very fast. And now you're going to take another section, right? And you're going to comb out, okay? Start from the bottom to avoid tangling. You comb out, okay? Comb out, you comb out, and then you're going to now go in with your straightener very, very fast, okay? Very fast, very fast, because this hair is not 100% human hair. So you're going to go in very, very fast, and there you have it. This is what you should have if you followed my tutorial step by step, okay? So just like that, you're going to comb through, and you should have this. There's a clear difference. You can see that the part that has not been touched is still looking rough. So we're going to take it now, take a section from here, and then you pin out the section that you're not working on, and then you're going to comb from the bottom, right, all the way to the top. Now you're combing from the bottom to the top because you're avoiding any tangling, right? Now you're going to take your straightener. Make sure you're very fast, because this hair is more like a synthetic hair. Synthetic hairs don't hold heat for long, so you have to use the lowest lowest level of heat, and you're also going to have to be very fast when straightening so that it doesn't burn the hair, okay? Now spot that. This is what you should have by the time you're done straightening, okay? This is what you should have. So you're going to repeat the same process all through the hair. Now this part has not been touched, but you can see this part that has been styled, okay? So now you're going to continue. Take a little bit, just a little bit, little amount, and then you pin it on the side, and then you comb from the bottom all the way to the top. always make sure that whenever it is you're combing your hair, you start from the bottom and then you work your way up. Okay, start from the bottom and you work your way up to avoid breakage. Now you're going to go in with your straightener just like this. Make sure it's not very hot because this hair right now is not a human hair. Okay, this hair is not a human hair, so you're going to pull down just like that, pull down just like that, and then there you have it. Now you're going to comb. Make sure to always comb out, and you should have this by the time you're done. Okay, now take the other section, repeat the same thing. Take it. We want all the areas of the hair to be as sleek as possible, as smooth as possible. So you're going to have to repeat the same thing. Remind you, whatever it is you do on the first part of the hair or on the first section of the hair, that's what you're going to continue doing. Okay, I also applied some products. If you're just joining, you're not just going to go in with your hot tool without applying your heat protectant or your hair serum to give it that shine. Okay guys, so now this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. This is what we have. Now we're going to continue. Okay, this is the last section here, and then we're going to also take another section from above here and then continue the same thing. Now you comb. Pay attention to how rough this part is looking. By the time I use my straightener, you're going to see how sleek and how soft it will be looking. Now you comb out, you go in with your straightener and then you pull gently, gently. Okay, it shouldn't be that hot, it shouldn't be very hot because the hair itself cannot take in much heat. Okay, shouldn't be that hot. So now we're done with this section, and let me show you what we have. Did you notice how sleek this is looking now? Did you notice that? Right, look at that. So this is how we want all this area to be. So we're going to continue until we get to the front section, and I'll show you what I did at the front. I made sure to style the closure properly at the front, and there's a way I pinned it. I'm also going to be showing you how to do that. So now you're going to take a section again, right, just like that. This hair tangles a lot because it's not like an actual hair, it's not like an actual human hair, so it tangles a lot. So you have to be very careful when working with hairs like this. So now you're going to take a section and then just like I'm doing now. So just each weft, this is a weft, so just like this, take a section and then you're going to pull down. Okay, and then the remaining part of the hair, you're just going to basically fold it like this. Don't be scared, fold it like this and then you pin it. Okay, this is the pin that I use. You can use a plastic pin if you want, and then I pin it. So now I'm going to go in with my heat protectant. Okay, what this does is that it keeps the hair away from breakage. Okay, you use a generous amount, do not be stingy with your product. And then you're going to go in with your hair serum just like this, 2 puffs, right? You rub it in between your palm and then you apply it. Okay, you apply it. Now I know that this might look good, but wait until we use our straightener and then you see how better it will come out. Now I'm going to take a section just like this. Okay, just like this. Take a section just like this. Okay, make sure you're very careful. Make sure you're very careful so you don't take from the part that has already been straightened. Okay, it's very easy for you to make that mistake. So just like this, you comb out. Make sure you're combing from the bottom. You comb out, comb out. Okay, you comb out, comb, and then you go in with your straightener. Okay, you go in. Gigi, leave there. Then you straighten. Make sure it's not very hot. Don't make sure that the heat is not much because this is not a human hair. This is actually a more like a synthetic, but not synthetic. Okay, it's called the Chinese bone straight. I'm sure that a lot of you must have come across it. Now you're going to continue. Okay, take a section just like that. Take a section. Okay, take this out. Okay, you already styled this part, so there's no need. Okay, and then you comb. just like this. You comb, right? You comb, and then you go in with your straightener. Make sure it's not on a very high heat, high level of heat. Okay, so just like that, you pull down gently, you pull down gently, and then there you have it. Now you can clearly see the difference, right? This is very smooth. Now this area has not been touched, so we're going to, repeat the same thing here, just like that. Okay, so you're going to comb all the way down. Be very careful, okay, so you don't rip the hair off. So you're going to comb, and you're going to go in using your straightener, just like that. Okay, gently, 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 right, all the way down, gently. Remember, we're not working with 100% human hair, so we have to be careful with the heat. Okay, all the way down, and you should have this at the end of the day. Okay, this is what you should have. Now we're going to repeat the same thing on this other end until we're done styling the hair completely. Okay, just like that. We already styled this part of the hair, so we don't need to take it up. Okay, so you're going to comb it gently. Okay, and then now you're going to go in with your straightener, just like this, and you pull down, just like this, and you pull down gently. I know it's steaming right now, but it should not be. Your straightener should not be very hot. Okay, so you comb. Now we're going to move. Gigi, Kai. Now we're rounding up. Okay, we're rounding up, just like this. Take the section. We're actually on the last section of this hair. So you comb. I'm going to review the finished look shortly. So you comb. It's just left with this, right? So you comb, and then you go in with your straightener, just like that, gently. Okay, gently, all the way down, gently. You can go in as many times as you want until you've successfully gotten like your desired result. Okay, so this is what we have so far. This is what we have so far. This is what we have so far. So I'm going to take another section, right, and then try to straighten it, and I'll show you the product if you're just joining, just for those that are just joining. And then I'll show you the product that I applied before styling this hair. Okay, I'm supposed to have delivered this hair since, but I'm just, stalling on it because I want to make sure that you guys follow up on, this hair. So basically, take a section, just like that. I don't know why this is. Let me bring it down, just like this. Okay, just like this. And then you're going to pin it. Okay, this is like, this is almost there. So after styling this section that we've just taken out, we're going to go ahead and style the last part, and then I'll reveal the final look of this hair, while I also show you how to coil your hair using a coiling iron. It's that simple. I'm sure that I've done this, I've done it more than once here. So now we're going to apply, this is first our heat protectant here. You're going to apply your heat protectant first, just like this, generous amount, just like this. Okay, just like that. And then the next product we're applying is our hair serum, 2 puff, right? And then you go in like that. You can already see how shiny is looking, right? Now the next step is to take a section. It's that simple. Take a section that we want to work with, separate it from the first one that you've already taken, right? And then you're basically going to comb. Let me take this out. You're going to comb. Make sure that you always comb before going in with any hot tool. So you come from below and then you work your way all the way up. Work your way up, because we want to avoid breakage. Okay, we want to avoid breakage. Now you're going to go in with your straightener just like this. You pull and then you pull down. Okay, you go in and you pull down gently. Okay, you go in and you pull down. I'm going to be showing you guys the aftermath of this. So you comb. Now you're going to go in again, take a section that you want to work with, just like that. You can clearly see the difference, right, from the part that has been touched and the part that has not been touched. So you comb, right, and then you go in with your straightener just like this and you pull down gently. You can see the steam coming out of it, right? So you pull down gently, you go in again and you pull down gently, right? You go in and you pull down gently. Okay, now you can clearly see the results. Now this part has not been styled, that is why it's looking rough. Now look at this, looking very smooth and lush. So we're going to continue, because at the end of the day we want to achieve the same result, right? So you just comb, basically you comb, you comb, right? You comb just like that, and then you're going to take your, what was it called, straightener, and then you pull gently. Okay, gently, you pull gently. This is the Cloud9 straightener. It's also you can use it for professional use and also for personal use. Okay, for personal use I'll really suggest this because it gets the job done all the time. Now look at that. Okay, we're going to repeat the same thing on this part, and I'm going to show you guys the final look of this hair. Okay, so you comb, make sure to comb, make sure you detangle properly, or else you're not going to have this. It will not be easy for you to do this. Okay, so you're going to comb very well, and then you're going to now go in using your straightener just like this, all the way down gently, all the way down gently, right, all the way down just like that, and then you're going to comb. Okay, going to comb. Now you're going to, I think we're at the last section. Yeah, so now you're going to take this part gently just like that, and then you comb. Make sure you're always combing out, or else it's going to detangle, and especially if the texture of hair you're working with is not 100% human hair. But even if it is, it's advisable that you comb properly. Now you're going to go in with your straightener, you're going to pull down, go in with your straightener, pull down gently. Now there you have it, your final result. Now this is what you should have if you successfully, you know, followed my tutorial to the T. Okay, now this is it. I'm also going to be coiling a hair shortly after this, and I'll show you how to use your curly iron to coil your hair. Now the next step is this, right? We're going to, this is the final part. Let me turn so you guys can see the front. Now this is this is the part that has not been styled, so you can clearly see how rough it is, and this is the part that has been styled. Okay, clearly. Now we're going to the front area. This is what the front of the hair is looking like currently. So I already styled the front yesterday. If you've not watched it, I would suggest that you go back and watch my previous video. So now I'm going to use this heat protectant and I'll spray. Make sure to always use your heat protectant, because of course you're working with hot tool, right? And I'm sure you do not want to damage your hair. So basically you just spray it like that, just like that, and then you cover it and you go in with your hair serum. You rub in between your palm, and then that's just like that. Okay, this is looking rough right now, but gradually it's going to come out nice. Now your you're going to take your tail comb and you're going to take a section just like this. Okay, take a section that you want to work with just like this, and you're gradually going to comb out. Now you comb from the bottom, remember, all the way to the top, because you want to avoid breakage, right? Comb, whether you're working on your natural hair or you're working on a wig, it's advisable that you always follow these processes, because of course you want to treat your hair as much as you want to treat your wig, right? So now look at how smooth that is, but that is not all. We're going to go in with our straightener now, and then you pull down all the way. You pull all the way gently, pull all the way down, just like that. And there you have it, right? There you have it, just like that. Look at that lush. Okay, so now we're going to look at the section that has not been styled. You can clearly see the difference from the part that has been styled. So now you're going to repeat the same thing. Take a section that you want to work with, just like this, and then you're going to comb gently, remember, from the bottom all the way to the top. Okay, so it's easier from the bottom all the way to the top, right? Just like that. I'm going to be unveiling, or rather revealing this hair, and I'll show you guys how the closure itself is looking and what I did to the closure. Now you comb, you're going to go in using your hot tool gently. Okay, remember, gently. Okay, gently. If you're too fast, you might not, or you're most likely not going to achieve that smooth look that you want at the end of the day, right? Just like that, gently. Okay, and you've successfully styled your hair. Okay, so now we're going to continue and repeat the process on the other section of the hair, just like this. So now this part of the hair has been styled. Okay, so you're going to take a section, you comb through, comb from the bottom all the way to the top gently, from the bottom all the way to the top gently. Okay, gently. You want to avoid breakage, so you don't have to come from top to the bottom. So from the bottom all the way to the top, you see how easy it is, right? How easy it is. Now we're going to go in with our straightener, just like this. You pull gently, remember, you pull gently. Okay, you pull gently, right? So now you're going to comb out. This is the breakage that I've had so far. So you're going to comb out. Of course your hair is still going to break, but not as much as it should, right? So now you're going to take a section again, and then you're going to comb out. Make sure you're taking out all the strands from the root. So you comb, comb, comb gently, right? Gently, gently. Okay, just like that, gently. If you come from the top, you're going to encounter a lot of trouble, so just from the bottom it's advisable. So just like that. Okay, now you're going to go in with your straightener. Make sure to always detangle your hair before styling. Okay, you're going to straighten all the way down, straighten all the way down. Now you're going to comb out. Now look at that lush, spot that lush. Look at how silky it's looking. Now we're rounding up, and I'll show you the final look of this hair. We're rounding up now, and I'll show you the final look of this hair. Now let's comb, 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 comb out gently, right? Very careful. Comb out gently. Okay, comb out. You can notice how rough this part of the hair is. Look at how rough. I don't know if you can see it. This is, let me just bring my leg closer. So this is how rough this part of the hair is. So you just comb from the bottom all the way to the top, and then the next thing you want to do is to go in with your straightener all the way. down gently. Okay, you can go in as many times as you want until you get your desired result. Okay, just like that. Now you're going to comb gently, comb gently. Okay, comb gently, and this is what we have. This is the final look. This is the final look. This is the final look. Okay, this is the final look. Now I'm going to be taking out the band, but before I do that, there's this other part of the hair that had troubles, right? And I would like to fix it here. Okay, so I'll have to fix it before we continue. So I already have like my thread down, thankfully. So I'll just basically tie it properly, and then go ahead and then fix it. Okay, because of course I used my thread to sew in this, so it's going to be way easier for me to fix. I guess so. I hope so. Hi, Java Lewis. How are you doing? It's been a minute. So just like that, you stitch. You basically stitch the same way you're going to stitch your clothes when it's torn. That's the same way you're going to stitch it. So it's that simple. So you stitch properly. Of course, I can't deliver on an unfinished job. So just like that, you stitch properly, and then make sure to always tie very well by the time you're done, or else you're not going to achieve that seamless delivery that you want. Your clients always going to have issues with their wigs all the time. So just like that, you're going to pull, and then you successfully stitch this in. So now we're going to cut this out. Forgive me, I'm going to be using my teeth, just like that, and then you're going to tie it properly. Okay, going to tie it properly, and we're done styling this hair. I'm going to be showing you guys the closure area and what we achieved at the end of the day. I'm sure some of you were watching me yesterday and you saw how easy it was for me to make this wig. So I'm going to be using this sharp object to just basically cut it off, and then there we have it. So if you straighten properly, even if your wig is looking this way, with one comb you should have a very, very smooth, soft, sleek looking wig. Now this is what you should have. Okay, this is what you should have. Look at that shine. Spot that shine, guys. Look at that. Ew. Let me raise it up. So look at that. Okay, this is what you should have if you followed my tutorial to the T. Now let's review the final look of this hair. Are you ready? Are you guys ready to see the final look of this hair? Are you guys ready to see this? Now I've taken out the band. Okay, this is how the front is looking currently. Yeah, this is how it's looking. Now I'm going to just unveil so you guys will see the final look. Oh my god. Gently, gently. There we go. There we go. Gently. And this is the final look of this hair. Ta-da! This is the final look of this hair. Look at that. Isn't she lovely? Isn't she so? Look at that. Look at that. This is what you should have if you followed my tutorial to the T. Okay, you followed my tutorial to the T, you should have this. Okay, so this is it. This is the final look. This is how you achieve a fair, well styled wig. Okay, just like this. I'm just going to use the back of this to hit this down, just like this. Okay, just like this. And now let's comb. So look at that, guys. Isn't this beautiful? If you were on my stream yesterday and we styled this, you would know how rough this hair was looking when it came in. It was looking very, very rough. And this is the final look, guys. This is the final look, guys. Look at that. Tell me if you would like to rock this hair. Look at that. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Very, very. I mean, you should see it physically. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. So I'm going to be just doing like a touch up here, right? Basically, just a little touch up here and there, and we're done. Finishing is very important. Okay, you might do a good job, but if your finishing is whack, oh my god, if your finishing is whack, trust me, your clients will have to complain. So just like that, there you have it. Okay, this is actually a Chinese bone straight. Look at that. Look at that shine. Look at that shine, guys. Look at that. Do you guys want me to wear it? If you want me to put it on, let me know in the comments. Look at that. This is so beautiful. There's my comb. Where is it going to? Just like that. This is cute, guys. Let me know if you'll be rocking this. If you were me, would you rock this? This is so beautiful. So I have another client wig that I'm going to be styling, but I'm most likely going to be doing, I wanted to do like the heatless coil, but I'm not sure yet. Let me know if you want me to do heatless coil or you want me to use my coiling iron. I'll be waiting in the comments. So there you go. There you go. Basically, so let me go and get the other hair and then we can proceed. Okay, so for the meantime, enjoy the view of this one while I get the other hair that I'll style. So guys, I'm back with the other wig. This is the next wig. Let me take this out and show you guys the next wig that we're styling today. Okay. So we're done styling this and I'm going to be showing you the next wig in 1, 2, 3 minutes. So let's take this out. So this is what this currently looks like. Okay, this is what it looks like currently. So I'm taking it out and I'm bringing in the next wig for styling. So tada, here you have it. This is the next wig that we're going to be styling, and trust me, you can actually turn this wig here into this. Like, look at that. You can make this to be like this. This is how this hair was looking before I turned it into this. Now if you like to see the transformation of this wig, stay with me and I will show you shortly. Okay. So guys, I made this wig yesterday, right? I styled this wig. I made it actually. You can see the lace is still there. So I made it yesterday. Okay, this is my curling wand, and I like to use the 220 degree because I'm working on a human hair, not a synthetic hair, right? So I like to make use of the 220 degree. But if you're working on a synthetic hair, it's not advisable you use 230 degree. It's advisable you use the lowest, and you have to be fast, and you have to make sure that you have water on the hair. Hi DQ, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. So while my coiling iron is getting heated up, let's take the straightener out of the way because we've already made use of the straightener, right? But first, if you pay attention, you would notice that the lace is still on it, which of course we're going to leave it there, but we're going to have to tint the lace into brown. This is white-ish, so we're going to change it to brown, right? So right now we're going to take this out, and I want to turn this into brown. This is white-ish kinda, so I'm going to have to turn it into brown. So let me pin this here and then take this and pin here. Okay, basically. So now for us to turn this lace into brown, I have to use our foundation. There are other products that people use, but I like to make use of my foundation, and I have them in different shades. It depends on what shade the client is, what's her complexion rather. So for my complexion, I like to make use of this shade of foundation, just like this. You take a little, just like this, and then you're going to have to, get like your foundation brush. But right now I don't have my foundation brush, so I like to use this. So you're going to just do this, damp it, damp it, damp it, and then you're going to do the same thing on the hair, right? You can notice it's turning brown, so we want it to be brown generally. So you do this carefully so you don't stain the entire hair. So carefully, carefully, just like that, just like that, and there you go, it's already brown. But we have to make sure that they all blend in, right? So just like that, you take your brush and you just, in circular motion, just like this, you go in gently, just like this, just like this, and you notice that when you notice that it's all brown and they are all in sync, then you can now take it off, and then you notice that this is no longer whitish. So did I solve your problem? Now we're going to go ahead and straighten. We're supposed to straighten this hair, right, using our straightener, because I have to do like trimming and the rest of them, right? So I have to trim, but first we have to first of all style the closure area. We're styling this hair is as a C part hair. So you just make sure you find the middle. Let me not forget that. So you're going to basically fold it in two. How you get the middle of your closure, right? This is like a bonus tip that I'm not supposed to share with you guys, but I'm sharing it with you guys anyways. You guys are my darlings. So just like this, right? You fold it in two, just like that, and then you take a pin, this pin, right? And then you pin it at the middle. So this is my middle right here, okay? And then I just pin it in the middle, okay? I'm doing that so that when I'm now wearing it like this, I know to put it in the middle. Now look at these three lines. There are three lines, one, two, three. So we're working with the middle line. Of course, this is serve as the middle of your hair. So you just push it, right? And this is the middle. Remember, this is the middle where the pin is, and then you just basically pin it, right? You just pin it, take it out, and then you pin it on the middle. Now you can adjust your wig properly, okay? You adjust it properly, just like that. You have your middle. Now we have to secure the closure, so you just have to pin it so it stops going up and down and up and down. So you pin it just like that, you pin it, Okay, and you pin it. You can use the wider pin because this part, of course, we're not going to wear our wig like this, but definitely going to cut it out, right? So you just pin it this way, pin it, and now you can go ahead and start blow drying or do whatever you want. But first, there's something else. You have to put the pin behind as well, so that this is because you do not want your hair to shred. So now we can now brush the hair out. I need to get my hairbrush, and I also need to get what is it called? There's something else I wanted to get, but I'm going to get that. So yeah, I didn't mention that we're going to be working with our hand dryer, our blow dryer rather, but we're going to be working with it. It's actually on already, but here we'll have to comb out the hair first. Remember, whenever it is your styling, make sure to always comb out your hair first, okay? This is so full, and this is actually how my clients wanted it. So you're going to comb out gently, comb out, comb out, comb out, okay? You're going to comb out gently, just like that. And then you're going to apply your heat protectant. Remember, I said whenever it is we're working with hot tools, make sure to apply our heat protectant just like this. And then you spray a generous amount. Over here we do not mice products. Now I'm spraying more on the closure area because it's going to take in, thank you so much, DQ. It's going to be taking in a lot of heat, right? So you spray more here. Now the next thing we want to apply is our hair serum, 2 puff, right? Or 3, depends on how shiny you want your hair to be. So now you apply it generously. Mind you, we're also going to be applying it when we're coiling our hair. But first, let's just apply it here, right? I think I should apply both at the back. So just like that, you apply. It's already coming out nice, but this is not what we want to achieve at the end of the day. Okay, so just like that. Okay, just like that. And then yeah, if you notice, it's no longer giving that volume as it was at the initial state, right? So just like that, you apply. Now the next thing we want to do is to go in with our blow dryer and then our barrel brush. This is your barrel brush. So you turn on, let me make sure that this is plugged in properly. So you turn on your blow dryer. Mind you, you're not going to hear me for a while because I'm going to be using this and it's loud. So you turn it on and then you blow. While you're blow drying, you're moving your hands backwards. So pay attention to that. It's very important. Every detail is very important when styling, okay? So I'm going to go in now. I like to use the highest heat, right? Because I'm working on a human hair now, not a synthetic hair. Okay. So I noticed something. This is not proper. I noticed that it's not equal, so I have to pull it down a bit. So I think it's equal now. Yeah, I think it's equal, so I can continue. So pay attention to how I hold my comb and how I take it backwards. Okay, it's very important. You can see my hand going this way. Now look at how flat this part, flat and shiny, this part is looking, yeah? So we're going to go ahead and blow dry all the hair. Let me use this instead. Yeah, so we're done blow drying at this point. We're still going to blow dry, but first, let's do this. So I'm supposed to get my wax stick. So 1 second, let me get my wax stick. Did you say you want the, what's it called? The Tom Brown. Should I give you? So yeah, I have to eat. I'm so hungry. Let me finish eating. I'm so hungry. Then we can continue. So for the meantime, you guys can leave your question in the comments. Mm, this is so yummy. So nice. It's actually a weight gain meal. And I know that you guys will say, oh, you don't want me to gain weight, but I want to gain more weight. Healthy weight, actually. It's really nice. Really. Give me some. Okay, here you go. Ah. It's really nice. So once I'm done eating, we're going to continue styling this unit. Mm, almost done. Mm. Ta-da! I'm done. So I'm coming. So now we're done. We're going to continue styling, of course. So I'm going to get my wax stick now. So guys, this is my wax stick. I'm also supposed to plug in my, what is it called? Okay, I'll use my hand dryer instead, because I was meant to like plug in my hot comb, but I'll just use my blow dryer. So I'll apply my wax stick now, just like this, right? Just a little amount, not too much and not less. So just like that. Now, next thing is for us to define our C parts. Remember, we're actually meant to style this as a C part, right? So you're going to already found our middle, which is the first step of knowing how to define, how to get a proper C part. Okay. Now, when styling your C part, you're going to take the comb. You know how you do like C using your pen, right? Like C. So you're going to take the comb and you're going to go in like this, right? Your C, just like this, just like that. Okay, that's how you get your C parts. Okay, mind you, you're also going to make sure that you're clearing out the parts way properly. So just like this, you've successfully gotten a C part, right? So but what we have to do now is to make sure that it's out of the way. Okay, make sure it's properly defined rather. So you take this and you bring it here. Okay, bring it here, just like that. Take it all the way down, almost to the end of the closure. Okay, bring it down, and there you have it, your C part. Okay, your C part. This is it. This is your C part. Okay, you might want to make it deeper by doing this, taking it inside. There you go. And I think this is more like it, right? This is more like it. Okay, so this is more like it. This is how you get your C part. Make sure you clear it out of the way. Some people like to plug uh, around the line, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that. I don't like to do that. So this is it basically. So now I'm going to take my blow dryer and then just make sure the lines are clearly defined. Just like that. I think I don't like how the C part is. I have to do this. Yeah, I prefer this more. So now this is what I get. Okay. So getting a C part is not that difficult. Now this is what we want. So all we're going to do now is basically defining this properly using our hold spray, using our blow dryer and our stick. You say again, yeah, again. So just like that. So yeah, just like that. Yeah. So now the next thing you want to do is to apply your um hair mousse, right? Hair mousse is most time underrated, but it actually gets the job done. It actually gets the job done. Okay, just like that, just like that. And then you're going to also go in with your blow dryer. You're going to be working with your blow dryer a lot. So now clearly this is defined properly. Alright, make sure to take out any strands that is on the way. Okay, make sure to take out any strands. So clearly this is defined. Now we're going to use our hold spray to secure this. Okay, we're going to use our hold spray to secure this, right? I honestly think my light should be closed. So this is my holding spray. It's not the same as the hair mousse, please. This is my hold spray. So you take a little and you apply it here, just a little, not too much, right? Just a little. And then you're going to use your blow dryer on cold breeze, just cold, zero. Look at mine, it's on zero. And then just like that. gently, okay? And there you go. So now the next step is to use your band to secure the closure area. I'm sure that a lot of you know this band and you're familiar with it. So now you take this and you go in with your pin, you pin it, you pull, make sure you pull it very tightly, just like that. You pull it, okay? Make sure to pull it very tightly and you pin, you pull and pin all the way down here, okay? Pull and you pin and you pin, okay? Now you pin it. Now you're going to take it back again and then you're going to pin it down, just like that. You might decide to just pin it twice or once, but I like to go twice. I like to pin mine twice. Now we're going to now properly define our C part, okay? We're going to properly define our C part, just like that. So at this point, I think this is the part where I have to plug in my, I have to plug in my um, hot comb, just like this, okay? I'm sure that a lot of you have seen this C part definition, but you don't know how to do it. So just like that. You've successfully achieved a C part styling. So the next thing on the line is to plug in our hot comb. Where did I even keep it? To plug in our hot comb, my hot comb, my hot comb. Ooh. But if I don't find it, I would as well, might as well use my blow dryer. The blow dryer can actually save you a lot, like a lot. So I'll take my pin and then pin the area that I'm not working on yet, just like that, and then I'll comb down, then go in with my wax stick because we want this to be as flat as possible, okay? Mind you, I'm working with a high level heat now. So now we take another section, just like this. After applying your whole sprayer, of course, make sure you apply generously, but at the same time, not too much, okay? So you take another section and you just pin it. Now you go in with your wax stick like this. And then the next thing is for you to go in with your blow dryer. And at this point, you're going to spray your holding spray to secure it down. Now I think we're working on, okay, almost the last section. So let's take this and then pin this and then comb all the way here. Just like this, and then we're going in with our wax stick, of course, and then we'll go in with a straightener, sorry, blow dryer rather. And then you blow. So after that, you're going to now go in with your hold spray. Remember to secure the area. Okay, now we're on the last section here, right on the C part area. So you blow it towards this direction as always. So you comb, make sure you comb properly. So just like that, you apply your wax stick. This wax stick also helps in getting rid of flyaways. Okay, it also helps in getting rid of flyaways. Just like that, you apply, and you're good to go. Now you're going to go in with your blow dryer. So yeah, now we're done, and this is what we have. Although we're still going to define our C parts. Yeah, we're still going to define our C parts when we're done styling. So guys, there we have it. Our C part is properly defined. Now we're going to dive into styling. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start styling using our coiling iron. Okay guys, using our coiling iron, we're going to now start styling. So this is what we have currently. If you want to see the finished look, stay with me. I'm also going to be showing you how to curl your hair as like a pro. So I'm supposed to trim this like this. I'm supposed to trim this hair. I'm supposed to trim it, right? Just like this. So I need to get my scissors. Now, when trimming your hair, you need to be very careful. So you take the both parts that are short, right? Because we are basically trying to create our guide right now. So you take the two front parts of the hair that are short, and you're going to do this. You're basically going to do this, okay? Just like this. Or better still, just like this. Okay, so now this section is going to work as your guideline. You already have your guideline here, and you already have your guideline here. Okay, so now you're going to do this. From here, you're going to go like this. Carefully. Pum, 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 pum. So just like that, we've successfully trimmed the hair. So now we're just going to go in to styling and do style. Okay, but I think this part of the hair still needs some cut. So yeah, now we have to continue styling. Yeah, so remember guys, you might have encountered something here. I need to take it out before we continue. Okay, taking it out. So let me just comb it. Yeah, that's better. That's more like it. So now all we have to do now is to go ahead and style. So this is after trimming. This is what we have. So I need to plug in my coiling wand, and then while I part the hair, right? Because I really do not want the hair to, so I like to divide my hair into two equal sections while working. So that way it's easier for me to work on. So just like that, I'll just pin it. Where's my pin? I used to have a lot of these pins, but right now I don't know where they all are. So yeah, you're going to come out, okay? So mind you, we're coiling this hair now and we're using our coiling iron. It's on the highest, as it is. It's already on the highest level of heat, right? It's already on the highest level of heat, so make sure to comb, detangle properly. Let me clear out these pieces. Make sure to detangle properly before you start styling, so you don't encounter any discomfort as you're styling. Okay, so for this process I'm going to be using mostly my holding spray and also my coiling iron, and then my tail comb. So every other thing that I won't be using, I'll have to take them out of the way. So I'm going to be using these three products to style, just these three products to style, and I'm going to be using just these two brushes. Yeah, and what next? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so first you go in with this brush and you detangle. Yeah, detangle properly, and then you're going to now go in with this to take that section that you want to work with, just like this. Okay, just like this. Make sure you're not taking too much, right? Make sure you're not taking too much. Make sure you're not taking too much of the section, just a little. You take, and then the parts that you're not working on yet, you pin it aside, just like this, and then you comb, right? Comb properly, okay? And you go in with your heat protectant. This is my heat protectant, and I like to use this product. And then you go in with your hair serum. I'm supposed to have applied a hair serum. Let me do that. I apply it on all the parts that I'm working on, so I don't have to keep doing it all the time. Okay, so you take 2 puff, rub it in between your palms, and then you apply. You can even take more than, it depends on how heavy the strands that you're working on is. So mine is very heavy. I took about two, is it 2 layers or 4 layers thereabout? So it's heavy. So now that is done, I'm going to apply, I already applied this. So now we're going to use our hold spray a lot. So comb out, take the section, remember, that we want to work with, and then the other section that we're not working with, we pin it aside, right? Make sure to always detangle, comb to detangle. Now our coiling iron is really hot, right? So we're going to go in like this. First you straighten it. We're straightening it because, mind you, we didn't actually straighten this hair before we started styling, right? So you straighten it, you turn it again, and you straighten it, right? Go in with your hot spray, right? You might spray both back and front, right? You comb out and you go in with your coiling iron. You pull down gently, you pull down gently, and mind you, we are coiling the reverse bombshell method. So we're going to go in like this, and we're going to turn our wand, and we pull down gently, right? Pull down gently, go in again, you pull down gently, just like that. Pull down gently. Make sure you're holding these strands, right, that is left, and then you pull, pull, pull. Okay, whenever it is you want to pull, make sure you're holding the strands. So you see, when I left the strands, this is what it gave me, but this part was not fully styled. So we're going to go in again, straighten, right? And then you go in like this, you turn it, you pull, holding your strands. You go in again, you pull, holding your strands. So if you don't hold your strands, you're not going to get the perfect results that you're looking for. You go in again, and then you pull, holding your strands. Make sure you're holding your strands whenever you're pulling till you finish everything that is here. Okay, just like this. But I don't know why this keeps happening, man. I don't know. I have no idea. I think my hand is very slippery, so I need to clean it properly. So by the time you're combing, it's coming this way, right? When you comb, it's coming like this. Okay, that's what the reverse bombshell method is meant to give you. So yeah, let's go in again. You comb to detangle, go in with your coiling wand, you straighten, you go in, you straighten gently. Okay, you straighten, and then you do this. You roll upwards, you pull back, you go in again, you pull back gently, 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 and you go in again, and you pull back gently. Make sure to pull until you exhaust the tiny little hair completely. Now at this point, I'm going to show you what it's looking like by the time I am done with this. So you hold down for some minutes. You hold down for some minutes, for some seconds rather. You hold down until it starts steaming hot, and then you try to release it gently. See, I didn't do that gently, hence the reason why it's this swollen, but I'm supposed to do it very, very gentle. Now you're going to pin it using your pin, just like this. Okay, now you take another section just like that, and then you comb out. Remember, I take away the part that you're not working with. You comb out both top, both the bottom, and then you go in with your hood spray. You spray both front and the back, and you comb again. And now you're going to go in with your coiling wand, just like this. Okay, and you pull down. You go in and you pull gently. Okay, you go in and you pull gently. Okay, you go in and you pull gently. Now at this point, you're just going to do this coil. Remember, when you're on the right, you coil towards the left, and when you're on the left, you coil towards the right. So now you're going to go in again and you pull gently, guys, gently. I'm sure you don't want to spoil whatever thing that you've had going on. So you go in, you pull pull. Make sure you pull gently, okay, and then you go in again and you pull a bit, because of course you already exhausted the tiny strands, right? Then you hold it down. Okay, hold it down, hold it down. You can count. Maria, hi, how are you doing, Maria? And then you hold it down. Make sure it's steaming hot, because already applied your heat protectant, so you don't have to bother about the hair breakage. So now we're going to take it out gently. Okay, gently, and then you're going to pin it. Now you take another section. This is almost like the last section, right? And then you comb. Now at this point, you're going to be coiling towards the left. So you comb, right? And then you go in with your coiling wand, just like this. You pull. This is the reverse bombshell method. So meaning that our coiling wand is always going to be facing up. Okay. So just like that. You straighten. Did I apply my hold spray? I'm not sure. Straighten, and then you go in this way. Now you're coiling towards the left, right? So you pull down gently, and you go in again. Okay, and then you pull down gently. Okay, pull down gently. Okay, and then you go in again. So you're going to repeat this process until you've completely styled this hair. So you go in again and you pull. But at this point, you have to be careful, because the strands that's left is no longer heavy. So just like that, you hold on for it to get hot. Okay, you hold on. I like to use 220-degree because it gets the job done for me every single time. So I'm just going to hold it down. I like to use this pin to pin it, so it's advisable, it's durable because it's metal, of course. So you gently take it out and then you pin. Okay. So now you're going to continue. You comb, right? You comb, and then you go in with your whole spray, and you comb. And now you're going to go in with your coiler, just like this. You straighten, you straighten, right? And then you go in like this from this angle now. And you pull down, pull, 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 and you go in again, just like that. And then you make sure to pull as well. Pull carefully, carefully, set carefully, and then you go in again. This part is very, very tight. Then you go in, and finally you pull completely. Okay, and you hold it down for some seconds, say about 30 seconds thereabouts, and then you're going to carefully release. Okay, carefully release it. Whew. So now we're done with that section. We're going to take another section. 1, 2, right? And then we'll apply our products like we did, and then we move on to style. Okay, apply our products. If you've been following me, you'll notice the products that I used. So you pin down, take the other section as well, and you do the same thing. Mind you, whatever it is you do on the left, you're going to do the same thing on the right. Okay, so just like that, and you pin it. Now the first product is you're going to make use of your heat protectant first, of course. And then the next product is your hair serum. Just 2 puff is enough. And you're going to apply it. You're going to apply it on both sections, just like that. Okay, just like that. Now you take your tail comb and take a generous amount, just like this. Make sure whatever amount you're taking is equal to every other section. So you apply your whole spray, just like that, and you comb again, comb, and you go in with your coiler, right? You straighten first, gently, straighten first, gently, straighten gently. You turn it and repeat the same thing gently, and then the second time you just go in like this. Okay, and then you pull, you pull, pull, and you go in again, and you pull. Okay, pull gently. Okay, gently, 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 and then you go in fully, and you hold it down. Okay, I'm going to try as much as I can, see if I can still pull it. Let me see. Okay, so just like that, you hold it down for about 30 seconds. Yeah, and then you're going to pin it. I need to get more of these pins because it's not like I'm working with a very full hair and I'm not even seeing any of them. So you take it out gently. Okay, just like that, and then you pin it in. Now you're going to repeat this process on all the hair until they are completely styled. Okay, so you comb out, you apply your whole spray, and you comb again, and you go in with your coiler. And now you turn to the right, just like that. You pull down a bit, and then you go in again, and then you pull gently. Remember, gently, pull gently, pull. Okay, and you're going back in again, and you're going to pull again until you've exhausted this. Okay, so you pull and you pull. Just like that, and you hold it down for some seconds. If you're just joining, you're welcome. I'm basically showing you a coiling technique that is very easy, something that you can actually do from home. You don't always have to go to your hairstylist to style your hair all the time. In as much as I'm a hairstylist, but I'm just saying. So now you're going to let it out and you're going to pin. Okay, just like that. Take your pin, this is the pin that I use, and then you pin it. All right, now this is what we have currently. Okay, this is what it's looking like. In my phone. Yeah, so now this is what we have currently. So we're going to continue. So basically you take a section and you comb out, properly. Take your whole spray, Spray generously from afar, please, not too close. And you comb. Comb. Okay. And you go in with your coiler. You straighten. You straighten gently. Straighten, and then you curl towards the right. Because right now we're still on the left, right? So we curl towards the right and we straighten all the way down, and you go back in. You pull, 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 and you go back in. And you pull. You go in and you pull, pull. You go in and you pull. So now you're done. You're going to hold it down for about 30 seconds. Yeah. If your coiler is very hot, I don't think you have to hold it down for long. Okay. And now you're basically just going to let it go. And then you pin. Just like that. And then you have these. So now we're on the right. We're basically going to curl to the left. Okay. Comb. Make sure you detangle properly. Okay. So now we're going to go in with our hold spray. Spray, spray, spray. Both front and the back, right? And then you comb. And you go in with your coiler. Straighten. You straighten gently. You straighten. Now at this point, you're going to curl towards the left direction, okay? Just like this. And you pull down. And you go again. And you pull down. Okay? Gently. And you go in again. And you pull down gently. You go in again. You pull down. You keep pulling until you can no longer see any of these strands. And then you hold here. Okay, you hold it down, you hold it down until you hold it down. Let me be me. So you're going to hold it down just like that. Hold it down, hold it down. And then now you're going to take it out gently. Take it out gently, and then you're going to pin it. This is the pin that I use. Make sure to pin it properly. So yeah, this is like almost the last, right? take it off the way, and then you comb. Okay, you comb. Go in with your whole spray. And you comb again, so they all sink in, and you go in with your coiler. You pull, and then you pull. So now you're going to go in like this. You're going to take it to this direction, okay? You're going to pull it gently, and you go in again, and you pull it gently. Go in again. So you're going to repeat this. Pull gently. Make sure that all the while you're pulling, you're holding this weft, right? So you pull gently, pull gently, pull. Oh my god. Now I messed that up. I'm not supposed to have this. So I'm most likely going to have to do it again. So let's go again. I take my whole spray and I spray. Although I already sprayed this, but I need to do it again for a more firm hold. Mind you, we don't mice products here. So you go in and you turn it to this direction and you pull. If you're holding it properly, you don't even have to turn it towards that direction. It's going to fall to that direction on its own. So you pull down, and you go in again and you pull gently. Okay, gently, because at this point, this was where I made that mistake. So you're going to hold down for some few minutes, okay? And then you're going to most likely pin at this point. I think I need to get more pins. So now you're going to let it go gently as well. So you're going to pin it. I'm going to be using this black pin to pin it down, seeing that the other pin is not available. So I'll use this black pin to pin it down. Yeah, just like that. Now we're almost at the last. So this is where you're supposed to pay very close attention to. So we comb, okay. Make sure to dangle properly. Comb, go in with your whole spray like this, and then you're going to comb again so that it sinks in, okay? Comb and comb, and then you go in with your coiling wand like this. You pull down, okay? We're straightening because we didn't actually straighten before we start coiling, yeah? So you straighten and then you go in like this, okay? Pull, and then pull, and you go back in. Make sure you're holding this, okay? And you pull again. Pull, and you go back in. Hold this, okay? While you're pulling, you hold this carefully, and then now you're going to go all in, okay? And then the last time you pull carefully and then you hold it in. Okay, just like that, you've been able to successfully coil your hair without having to go to your stylist. So you hold it down for a bit, and then you're going to pin it. I like to use this black pin to pin it, even though I have the other silver color, but this black always gets the job done. Okay, so now I'm going to take it out gently. This is very hot, you can see the steam coming out of it. And now I'm going to use this pin to pin it down. So just like that. Okay, this is what you should have. We follow this tutorial step by step. I'm going to also unravel it when I get to the front, so you guys can see what it is like generally. And also there's a finished look as well. The sorry, the what's it called, the, is it finishing, is that what they call it? There's something they call it, your final touch or something. Okay, just like that. I need to bring this down now. So you pin, yeah, and then you take another part, because I sectioned this into two so it's easier for me to style. So just like this. So basically we pin. Okay, now we're going to take our heat protectant and we're going to apply generously. Okay, apply. Already this hair, if you were on my stream, you'll see on my other stream, I think 2 streams ago, you see how I styled this. What's it called, I wigged this hair. It was way easy, and I told you guys that I was going to come back and style it here. So that is what I am doing, basically styling it, and I'm carrying you guys along. So now that you've done that successfully, you're going to take your tail comb, this, and you're going to take a section. I usually use my eyes to gauge it. I don't have like a measurement or whatever. I just use my eyes to just gauge it basically. So the part that you're not working with, you take it off the way, so it's not in the way of the section that you're working on. And make sure to take away every strand out of the way. So now we're going to go in with whole spray, mind you. And then you comb, and then you go in with a coiler, just like this. You straighten first a bit, turn it again, you straighten twice, make sure to go in twice, okay? And then this last one, you're going to take it to this direction. Mind you, we're on the left, so we're coiling towards the right direction. So you pull it, you pull, okay? And then you go in again and you pull, okay? Pull carefully so it doesn't leave your hands, okay? Make sure you're holding this while you pull, just like that. and then you hold down for some seconds and you release it. So you hold it until the steam has heated it, like it's heated up. Hi guys, so this is my face. I know that I've been talking since and I've been behind, so this is me. So you hold and you gently release it at this point. Okay, gently. I know that you're so curious to see how the colors turned out. I'm also as curious as you. So if you're like me, you would want to wait and see how it turned out. Okay. So yeah, so you've pinned that successfully, and then you take another section. Make sure to always take away the part that you're not working on out of the way. Okay, so you comb properly, and you go in with your holding spray, and you're going to comb again. Okay, comb it, comb it, and then you take your coiler. Okay, and you go in, straighten, you straighten under as well, straighten, and now you're going to curl towards this direction. Okay, pull down, you go in again, pull down, go in again, pull down, and then at this point you go in fully. Okay, and you hold on. Okay, you hold on for it to steam up. Let me be, when you will welcome. Tired. It's actually stressful, but you can do it. So yeah, my colors are coming out nice. Look at that. Ta-da! So yeah. Comb out. You spray. And you comb. And then you're going to go in with your coiler.